Meanwhile, the condition of the football club itself was as critical as ever before. Annual losses of £50 million and debts of £80 million were announced, and Professor Mackenzie was soon out of the picture after failing to secure investment from an elusive Leeds supporting sheikh. New Chief Executive Trevor Birch was working frantically behind the scenes, haggling for time with the creditors as the club desperately searched for a buyer. As for the players, they eventually agreed to accept a wage deferral.
Things got very worse when we had to think about deferrals at a bad time, to be honest. Well, we have football to play, which was really a bad timing, you know, to get into those discussions, which really brought the morale and the spirit down.
To lift the spirits, the club had brought back a Leeds legend, former player, manager and coach Eddie Gray as caretaker boss. His first move was to bring Mark Viduka back into the fold.
Peter Reid, Mark, you know, that's fine. I didn't even ask him about that. We never spoke about that. I just says to Mark that the club were going to need him, which I felt was true.
And Gray went back to basics, fielding fewer of the new loan players.
The players looked pretty low, and I just felt that if we could get back to the players that knew a little bit about the tradition of the club and what the club meant, it might help.
At first, it did. After defeat in Gray's first game, Leeds won at Charlton. Then they bridged the ultimate Premiership cash chasm with a draw against Roman Abramovich's Chelsea All-Stars. And they left it late in a dramatic win against Fulham.
I'll be quite honest with you, I felt it was always going to be a battle for the first day I went back. And you can't really say things like that because, you know, you've got to have a belief. And I had a belief there was a chance we'd get out of trouble. But it was never a belief that we were going to pull clear and finish mid-table.
All the best. Cheers. Onwards together.
In March, a takeover of Leeds United was finally completed by the only consortium left in the running. Debts were reduced to around £30 million. Peter Lorimer was on the new board, chaired by insolvency practitioner Gerald Krasiner, but there was scepticism amongst the fans.
All I recognise are a group of names of people who've been in business, some successful, some not successful.
Judge me and my board by what we do, not by speculation.
These guys rescued the football club, and that means a lot to me personally, and I think it should mean a lot to all the Leeds United fans, and I think to give them any form of criticism really is a little bit wrong. It was basically, you know, 3 or 4 days away from certainly going into administration, and according to Gerald Krasiner, who is an expert in that field, he said it would almost certainly have gone into liquidation, so that would have been the end of the football club.
If I say anything that you tell me is not true, please tell me the first time, because I've never told a lie in my life.
You had to drive a hard bargain with the bondholders to make sure there was enough cash in the business. So I disagree very, very strongly with the view that has been made by the Krasiner Group that it was either them or liquidation. Indeed, I would say that the deal that they did pushed Leeds United in the longer term closer to liquidation because they locked the club into an agreement with the bondholders that was not sustainable.
The supporters' main concern surrounded an unpaid advisor, Geoffrey Richmond's description of himself.
People have put their houses on the line, they've put their businesses on the line because they believe in the future of this club. Please accept what I'm saying. I'm not a rapist, I'm not a paedophile, I'm not a murderer. I want Leeds United. I was born in Leeds, lived in Leeds all my life. I do remember John Charles playing. No, I'm not a fanatical Leeds United supporter. I'm not. The team I love best is Bradford City.
I think it was a surprise to me because the club had a lot of bad publicity. And no disrespect to anybody, but you know, when Geoffrey come back, you knew there was going to be some adverse publicity for the football club.
On the field, victories had still been few and far between.
See you later, Leeds United, innit?
3 wins in 4 games after the takeover gave Leeds a modicum of hope, but Mark Viduka's senseless sending off against Leicester meant he'd missed the home game with Portsmouth.
It was like slow motion. You know, I could see he was going to knock the ball away, and I'm thinking to myself, Mark, don't kick the ball away, because you know the game he's going to miss, and it was a vital game. And they're the things, the type of things that your season turns on. He's a passionate player, Mark, in his own way. People don't realise that. I think he's laid back, and he is. But he's got a desire to win things. Once we started, you know, to slide a little bit, it really frustrated him. He wanted to play at the highest level all the time. I think that was a problem for him.
Leeds' slide towards relegation was accelerated by injuries as well as suspensions, and Gray had already exiled David Batty.
He wasn't a type of lad, David, that could accept no playing. I think if David Batty would have been fit enough, and he felt he was fit enough, 100% fit to play football at the highest level, he would have been knocking at my door and saying to me, I want to leave the club and I'm going to stay in again. And I think it tells you everything, that David's decided, no, he's had enough, and walking away for the game.
When relegation was confirmed at Bolton, it heralded a number of goodbyes. Paul Robinson has already left for Spurs, Viduka will soon be on his way, and at the final home game of the season, Alan Smith was given a hero's send-off.
I've never seen scenes like that for any player at a football club. And, you know, some great players passed through here, but their scenes were just unbelievable. But great for the boy.
But this week, the unthinkable for the supporters who'd been praised all season.
So the top 3 press on and Leeds struggle on, but their fans, even when 4-0 down, stayed true to the cause. Well done to them. Good night.
Not once in this season did the crowd turn on anybody. They were 100% behind him. So I get a bit disappointed with people when they don't roll their sleeves up and do battle, and especially for Leeds United.
Been here long enough with the club to know when the players are really up for it, you know, or when the players are just messing about, you know.
But now it's time to look to the future, whatever that may hold. Yesterday, Kevin Blackwell was appointed as Gray's replacement.
I think whoever come in has got to, it might take them a couple of years, and they might have to start afresh. You just hope that it's not too long before the club bounces back.
Okay, it may not, we come back in 1 year, but I would like to think we'd have a team that would be in contention.
You know, your Man United and your things like that, they've gone, but we'll get them back one day.